gentlemen.
And good afternoon. Welcome to the Class A semifinal action at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. I'm Ken Delaney with Mike Bodkins as the 1996 MHSAA Boys Basketball Championships wind down. In today's contest between the Saginaw Trojans and the Detroit Denby Tars. Saginaw coming into this contest with a 22-3 record, while Denby with a tougher schedule. Some people say on paper with a 19-7 record under Coach Reuben Washington in his 10th year with 136 wins and 92 losses. For Marshall Thomas, his 14th year as head coach with the Saginaw Trojans. They finished tied for first place in the Saginaw Valley Conference with a 9-1 conference mark. And that's PSL East Conference. Detroit Denby finished in second place with a 9-3 record. Let's look at the starters for tonight's contest. First for the Saginaw Trojans at the 2 forward positions. It is Dwayne Nash. He averaged 21.4 points per game and also 11.2 rebounds per game. The other forward is Jason Peoples. And Peoples is a 6'1 senior averaging 16.5 points a game. At the center position for Saginaw, Antoine Tatum. And Tatum at 6'2", a senior averaging 4.3 points per game but 10.3 rebounds. At the 2 guard positions, it's Durrani Pitts. He is a senior, 5'10", averaging 9.5 points per game. And Lawandzo Harris, a 5'9" junior, averaging 9.5 points per game as well. Under head coach Marshall Thomas.
Ken, it's going to be real interesting to see how this game starts out. I think momentum is a critical factor. These kids come in here, the semifinal A, it's really a time for butterflies. It's going to be fascinating to see who gets out of the blocks first, how the defenses match up, and just exactly how well they're hitting those long-range jumpers.
Look for a big man off the bench. Number 50, Freeman Battle. He averages 8.5 points a game and 9.5 rebounds per game. Now let's introduce you to the Tars of Detroit Denby. And their starting lineup for this semifinal contest against Saginaw. At the 2 forward positions, number 21, Albert Thomas, a 6'3 senior, averaging 9.5 points per game and 8 rebounds. The other forward is a 6'3 sophomore, Sidney Mitchell, averaging 17 points per game and 4.2 rebounds. At that center position, he is a 6'4 senior, averaging 7 points a game and 9 rebounds. Dwayne Williams. At the 2 guard positions, Taran Allen, a 5'9 senior, averaging 12 points per game, and Tabari Jones, a 5'9 junior, averaging 7.5 points per game.
Both teams to center court for a little bit of preparation, a little bit of motivation, maybe even a little bit of intimidation as they bump backsides a little bit. They're now at their huddles. They're getting pregame instructions.
For Denby, look for number 45, Bruce Lawrence. He is a junior, 6'4", averaging 7.5 points per game and 9 rebounds a game coming off the bench in today's contest. For Saginaw, they struggled early in the districts and had to go overtime to beat Saginaw Arthur Hill and never look back, beating Flushing in the districts. In the regionals, Flint Northern and Flint Southwest Academy before getting here and beating Traverse City in the quarterfinals 65-53. For Denby, a big upset as they beat Detroit Cooley in the quarterfinals 82-49. The districts beating Troy Finney, East Points, Grosse Pointe South, and the regionals Sterling Heights and Warren De La Salle. As we get set for this Class A semifinal action from the Jack Breslin Student Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University.
Across the way, Ken, you can see the blue and gold of the Denby band. Didn't bring their instruments, but they want everybody to know that they're from Denby. Little wait here. Now we're walking out ready for this tip-off to start this Class A semifinal game.
The officials are set, and we're set for the action here at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center. The tip comes back into the hands of the Trojans of Saginaw. Here's Pitts, the penetration blocked away down low, and Denby up with it.
That was Dwayne Williams skying really high to take that one away.
Taran Allen with a quick shot and off the dribble. It's good for the first points of the game.
All the way. I can handle it solo.
And here's the full court pressure applied by Denby. Pitts beats it on the dribble coming across the timeline.
Allen, who made that last bucket coming off a broken foot early in the season, looks fully recovered.
The quick dish to the baseline, and good.
Penetrate inside, kick it outside.
Dwayne Nash 21.4 points per game and 11.2 rebounds on the year.
It's always a great formula.
Down the middle of the penetration, and good on the jump shot by Sidney Mitchell. A little short hook by the sophomore.
Averaging 17 points a game, started every game as a varsity player since the time that he was a freshman.
And Denby now with a 4-2 lead. Out top for Saginaw. Lawandzo Harris almost pulled the foot.
Man-to-man D, a lot of pressure, in-your-face defense.
6.5 to play in this first quarter. And the three-point try from the left side won't go. And there's Williams, averaging 9 rebounds a game, pulling that one down.
A lot of strength on the inside. Both teams spreading out the floor against the man-to-man. No congestion here.
Duran Allen, the senior, on the floor at point.
Teams just sort of feeling each other out right now.
Baseline jumper won't go. The tip won't go, but up over the back is Denby.
That's going to be Dwayne Williams up over the back. We've previously commented about his ability to get off the floor. That time he didn't have the inside position, and he made contact up over the back.
Williams, his first personal and the first team foul on Denby.
Denby's going to extend some pressure here. Pick him up, full court, man-to-man. Not a real aggressive press, little passive. Dropped off quite quickly.
Now pick up Lawandzo Harris at the top of the key. He'll stop, show the ball, and lose it.
Crowd's not into it yet, Ken. Both teams still in that early posturing.
And a 4-2 lead for Denby. Ball loose out top. Coming baseline, the runner-up, it won't go for Denby. Rebound, fought for, and back up again as Sidney Mitchell missed the first one, but came back and put it off the glass and in.
Silky smooth. Really, he's got some talent out there.
Denby up by 4 now. Ronnie Pitts, he'll come down with a penetration. Nice fake move underneath, but missed the bunny. And there's a whistle and a foul. Frustration underneath, I think, by Ronnie Pitts.
He made the great move. Took it to the left, went in with a beautiful head fake. Had everything in the world gone his way, and then he just got it off the board a little crooked. Didn't get it to drop.
Pitts, a 5'10 senior, his first personal foul, the first team foul on Saginaw.
Pitts averages about 9.5 points a game.
5:07 to play, first quarter. Denby with the ball. Big cross court. Nothing there for Duran Allen. To the inside, and a nice big man move by Dwayne Williams, a sophomore, or he's a senior. A 6'4", 200-pounder.
Williams had a guy hanging on him. Took him right up with him.
4.5 minutes in this first quarter in the semifinals.
Denby off to a good start. 8-2 with 4:31 on the clock. Long range. He's got it for 3.
Lawandzo Harris, the 5'9 junior, sinks it. And it's an 8-5 contest.
Both teams right now just playing very methodically. Not a lot of emotion out there. Not any trash talking. Just playing a game.
The pull up from the free throw line, and good by Mitchell.
Mitchell obviously very talented. Looks you in the face, quickly takes that step to the right in the jumper.
Saginaw can't counter. Rebound taken away by Denby. Denby will push it ahead and then slow down a bit. Ryan Allen on the bounce pass. Nice to the baseline. Blocked, but a whistle and a foul.
Out of nowhere that time, Tatum with the block. Going to be on the floor or on the shot?
On the shot, so Mitchell will be shooting 2. First free throws of today's contest. So we've got a timeout on the floor. Called by Saginaw. 3:35 left in this first quarter, and Denby with a 5-point lead, 10-5 over Saginaw.
Story so far, I think, has been Sidney Mitchell, the sophomore, showing that he's really gotten off the blocks early. Got a lot of talent, a lot of athletic ability, able to do a lot of things with the ball one-on-one. both teams getting good shots. A little surprised, Ken, that maybe the defense is not a little bit more intense. You know, both teams are finding easy shots out there. Seem to be more offensive-minded squads than they are defensive-minded squads.
Videotapes of today's contest are available. Additional copies, if you'd like, by writing Advanced Video Services at 5547 Columbiaville Road, Columbiaville, Michigan, 48421, or call 810-793-8889.
Denby off to a real good start. A team that shoots only about 40% on the season from the field. Started out strong here in this first quarter. Excellent shot selection, and of course Mitchell, he's been the flag bearer. He's been the one they've gone to. He's been able to take it in and score. When they come out of this timeout, we're going to watch Mitchell go to the line.
Saginaw has had the opportunities, missing several three-point shots, and on the inside, some good penetration. Remembering back Pitts and Harris with a couple of good inside moves, but he just couldn't convert.
Yeah, Saginaw's been penetrating inside, then they're kicking it outside for that jumper, and of course you got to hit those long range to make that an effective strategy.
First free throw of the game, and Sidney Mitchell is there, and short on this one.
A little short. I don't think he got his natural rotation on that one. That one's sort of knuckleballed up there. Let's watch it this time.
3:35 left in the first quarter. This won't go either. Battle for the ball, and it's out of bounds off Denby. Yeah.
Missed them both. Saginaw with the basketball. Again, facing pressure. Let's see if it's token pressure designed just to disrupt that inbounds pass.
Williams and Thomas were fighting for the rebound, and they knocked it out of bounds. Here comes Saginaw on the dribble across half court. Penetration again, then kick it back out. Here's the three-point try off the mark, but the foul is up off the glass and good by Freeman Battle.
That's one of those that the shooter says intended to be a pass. Puts
Battle.
the assist in the book.
Battle, the 6'2 junior, averages 8.5 points a game coming off the bench. 3 minutes to play, first quarter. And just a three-point lead for Denby. Here's the three-point try on top, won't go. But Denby strong on the boards on the offensive end. No good, but that'll send Mitchell back to that free throw line.
Mitchell back to the line, took the long rebound, just simply went up higher than anybody else to get that offensive board. Let's see if he's found his shooting touches. He goes to the line.
Shooting foul for Mitchell.
Armour Van Zant will check in for Saginaw. And Jason Peoples comes out.
I think the most noteworthy observation so far is how low-key this is. I don't think the momentum and the tempo has really established itself yet. Crowd's not into it yet.
Mitchell gets this one to go, so he's 1 for 3 at the charity stripe. 11-7. Denby with a lead.
Mitchell shoots 68% from the season from the charity stripe.
Second one is good. And here's the Denby full court pressure after the made bucket. Saginaw still on the backcourt. Here comes Battle on the dribble across the timeline. This is Nash. Spin in the paint. Blocked away. And Denby. No opportunity for the fast break, but now they'll push it up. Look for the dish down low. Dangerous pass, and here comes Battle out of the pack. Double dribble, yeah.
Tough break for Battle that time. It was all his, and the defensive player actually interfered with his dribble. I'm not sure if that call was exactly correct, but it gave all appearances of being a double dribble, but it looked like the defender got his hand on it.
2:32 left in this first quarter. Denby has the ball back and leading by 5.
Tell you what, he had visions of stuffing that one home. He's going to take it coast to coast. Going to look the situation over.
Denby will pull it out down to 2:15 to
away
play.
from the ball.
Damari Jones, his first shot opportunity. Wave it off. He walked.
Just put the halts on it, but slid both feet into paint.
Jones, a 5'9 junior, averages 7.5 points a game.
Harris with the basketball out in front.
Goes solo baseline, try to dish it out and lost it. Here comes Denby the other way with Mitchell leading the pack. He'll throw it away. He saw Damari Jones racing down that right sideline and just bounced past him.
Yeah, Mitchell probably should have chosen to keep the ball right there in the middle of the floor. If he'd have gone to the free throw line with it, might have had better options.
Montel Lewis will come in. And so will Jason Peoples for Saginaw. As Van Zant comes out. And so does Dwayne Nash. Well, Nash will stay in there. He'll is inbound from the sideline.
Denby continues to stick with the pressure. Saginaw not really having difficulty with it whatsoever. There seems to be always somebody open to bring the ball down the floor.
Lawandzo Harris is out. Minute 50 to play in this first quarter. Look at the baseline there for Battle, and he walked again. Caught him shuffling the feet as he put the ball down on the floor, and there's another Saginaw turnover. Minute 45 to play first quarter, and Denby by 5.
Attempting to get away with some of those Michael Jordan moves. 3-man refereeing crew. State of Michigan employing that strategy at the regional level and beyond this year.
Mitchell puts it on the floor. Into the paint, the shot. Piece of it by Saginaw. Rebound comes out to Saginaw. There's a whistle and a foul as Thomas took it into the paint. Missed the jumper. And Saginaw will draw the foul.
Saginaw seems to be upping their defensive intensity a little bit. I think that's going to be the call on this game to see which team can play the best defense.
That's their second on Dwayne Williams, the 6'4" senior.
Lawrence for Williams.
Williams is out.
That's going to be
and Bruce Lawrence is in.
A factor to watch because Williams is such a leaper, such a strong inside player. Good rebounder.
Minute 15 to play, first quarter. Pitts. They're back down to the baseline. Long range shot won't go again. Rebound fought for off the bottom of the iron. Off the bottom of the board, that is, but staying right with it is Dwayne Nash, and he finally gets it to go.
Not to be denied. Great effort.
Under a minute play, blocked at the other end. And here comes
Battle that time.
Denby has it. Breaking up the fast break. 3-on-2 break. That shot from the baseline won't go either. Now the intensity is picking up, and Denby steps out.
Now we have a basketball game. Everybody's waking up out there.
The tip up. Finally, Denby had it, but then stepped out of bounds. 39.2 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter, and a 12-9 contest. Denby on top.
Tempo just has not been what we expected to see from a Class A battle here in the semis.
Ralph Sewell, number 33, is checked into the Denby lineup. Looking quickly inside. Denby steps in, knocks it out of bounds to Rand Allen there.
Well, Battle tries to thread that bounce pass through, and it just wasn't to be.
35 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Saginaw on the inbound.
Guards are great penetrators.
Harris looking baseline. Here's a spin move and a nice move there by Dwayne Nash.
Run the videotape. A great example of how to do the drop step. Good footwork got him that bucket.
1 point lead for Denby, 12-11. Clock rolls to 15 seconds here in the first quarter. Rand Allen out top. Gets the pick. Has to dish it. Free throw line jumper. Bank it off the glass and good for Bruce Lawrence. 3 seconds. 2 seconds to play.
Pick and roll.
Harris will shoot it at the buzzer. Check that. Pitts almost got it to go.
Well, Ken, towards the end of that quarter, momentum picked up a little bit, and we saw a little bit more up and down action. Initial part of that quarter, I think, characterized by just sort of a slow, lethargic tempo, but it's going to change. You know, they're going to recognize that they really got to increase the defense, I think, to stay in this basketball game.
Were the teams feeling each other out a little bit?
I think it might have just been a little bit of anxiety. I just wonder if they just didn't walk out here and they're walking out to an arena that's probably 75%, maybe 60% of capacity. A lot of people, maybe just not feeling into it. And the other thing is they're not used to playing in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, so 1 o'clock afternoon contest here, and makes a little bit of a difference. At the end of the first quarter, Denby leads by a 14-11 count in this game here at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center.
Now Mitchell's the big scorer for Detroit Denby with 8 points in that opening quarter. He got all those early, showing a lot of offensive ability. And he's been the big push for Denby.
Nash at the other end with 6 points and 3 rebounds for Saginaw.
Yeah, I think a 14-11 first quarter score in an A semifinal game, a little bit unexpected. Didn't run the floor like we thought they might, and shooting percentages down a little bit. Place has got to start rocking here real soon.
Well, Denby shooting 50%, 5 of 10 for the floor, while 5 of 14 shooting for Saginaw. Checking 6 of 12 for Denby and 5 of 14 for Saginaw in that first quarter. 14-11 is our score as we get ready for the second quarter of action in this semifinal contest. The winner here plays the winner of the second game between Southfield Lathrop and Wayne Memorial.
Ken, I wonder too, you know, even the fans come into an arena, it doesn't have quite the hype as it might if you were preparing for a 7 o'clock game. You know, it's just a little bit out of routine to come in here for that 1 o'clock game. But I think the complexion is going to change in terms of intensity very shortly.
Denby starts the quarter with the ball and the 3-point lead. Ran Allen will look inside, dished low, won't go. That was Lawrence, who stays in the game on the miss. The other end exploding to the hole is Dwayne Nash, and he has 8.
Quick, strong move that time. Very determined ball player. Great move.
And it's just a 1-point lead for Denby. Allen looks it over in the corner.
Allen has a big responsibility. He's got that ball a high percentage of the time. He's a setup man.
Load it to one side. They kick it back out. Here's Allen off the mark on the 3 and the rebound. Taken away there by Allen on the follow.
Great.
Staying right with it.
Just snuck right in there. No thought about defensive responsibilities. He just went in and took the ball away from him. A long 3, just short, off the rim. Here comes Denby. Allen's got the ball once again.
Barry Jones with that rebound. 16-13, Denby with a lead. Just under 7 minutes to play, first half. Ball away won't go. The follow-up, that won't go by Jones. Ball out high, and the littlest guy in the court picks it up.
Yeah, he is quick to the spot, isn't he?
Durant Allen distributes it to the baseline, and good on the jump shots.
And Mitchell gives every appearance that if you let him get set, get his feet under him, he's going to stick it.
Mitchell now with 10, and it's 18-13, 6.5 to play in this first quarter. First half, that is. Saginaw quickly to the hole on the runner by Lawandzo Harris.
Yeah, Harris and his running mate out in front are just excellent with that penetration. Very strong guards.
Down to 6-10 here in the first half. Jones looks baseline, gets the double team, fires it anyway, and it goes.
Oh, no way, that's not supposed to drop.
20-15, Denby on top. Right to the hole, the ball kicked away. Battle misses it after picking up the loose ball.
I don't think Battle expected to get that ball.
Pitts had it knocked away from the backside. And up top, the jumper goes for Allen.
Well, you're going to have to guard Allen out there. They're dropping off of him.
Point guard who averages 12 points a game. Not bad.
Hey, the double team works. They've got the ball on the break.
Jones pushes ahead to Allen. Dish back low, off the glass and good.
Good floor balance, good steal, and an easy bucket on transition.
Albert Thomas finishes it off. 24-15. Denby with their biggest lead by 9 with 5:15 to play first half.
Harris, the strong 5'9" guard out front, very physical.
He'll take it himself down low, up and in.
Just simply strong. Look at that move.
And Harris is a 5'9", 170-pound junior.
Once again, Allen at the front, or at the point. He's starting the offense. He's with a double set down low. He's waiting for somebody to set a low or a high pick. Nobody moves.
Now they switch. 4:45 here in the first half. Mitchell wants to come baseline, does, and he's got a dozen.
How do you like that step out of the corner? He just exploded from 0 to 60.
Mitchell is the sophomore at 6'3". Low to Battle, won't go. The tip won't go. Rebound Thomas.
Thomas with the big rebound. Mitchell is also the performer and the scorer.
4:20 here in the first half.
Really quick coming through that paint.
Mitchell back down the middle, shot up off balance, almost got it to go. And Battle comes out of the pack. Push ahead there for Patterson, and good from the corner for three.
Stick the three on the break. Get your toes beyond the line.
Check that, Peoples. Jason Peoples with a three.
Peoples averages 16 points a game.
.345 in this first half. Jones up top, won't go, gets his own board. Lefty goes in and out again, no good. Rebound follow, this time finally finished off by Thomas.
The only thing you could see in the paint was blue and gold. They literally covered up the green and white.
Denby by 8, 28-20.
Denby's playing a smart game, getting good shots.
Here's Harris. That won't go on the runner.
Saginaw maybe a little bit more oriented towards one-on-one basketball. Denby doing a good job of, nice pass inside. Modified alley-oop for an easy bucket.
And Thomas finishes it off and makes it a 10-point lead. And a timeout on the floor, again called by Saginaw. Their second of the first half. 3:04 to play in the first half, and Denby on top, 30-20.
Quality of the basketball has really improved here in the second quarter, and of course Denby is setting the tune for that improvement. They are really doing a nice job of ball movement, balancing out the floor. Allen has to get a lot of credit. He's making good decisions out there. We don't force anything with Allen out in front. He makes everybody set up, they stand there, they patiently start the offense, and then they explode with that movement away from the ball.
Denby is second place finisher in the PSL East with the 9-3 conference marks. In the Saginaw Valley, Saginaw finished tied for first place with a 9-1 record. So we said they went overtime against Saginaw Arthur Hill in the first game of the districts, and then went on to beat Flushing in the districts, Flint Northern, and Flint Southwest Academy in the regionals, and took out Traverse City in the quarterfinals, 65-53. The road to get here for Detroit Denby, the districts beating Detroit Finney, East Point, Grosse Pointe South, and the regionals taking out Sterling Heights and Warren de La Salle. And in the quarterfinals, beat Detroit Cooley 82-49. So actually, it's been quite a long run with those three games in the districts for Detroit Denby, and the record at 19-7.
Well, Denby right now showing a lot of balance in terms of their squad. They've got a good outside game and a good inside game, and I just like their patience. They're really looking at the offense, getting everybody involved in the offense. Of course, Mitchell has shown himself to be just such an outstanding ball player, but simply because of his quickness. That first step is just very, very explosive. I think if we count the players out there, we might have one too many. We've got a Trojan that's going to go to the bench. Referees being somewhat lenient, and ball's not in play.
Marshall Thomas caught it quickly and got the player off the floor as Pitts comes out.
Somebody has to be responsible for counting players.
Saginaw firing the three. In and out, won't go. Almost up into the cylinder was Lawrence.
That's Nash, their big scorer that time, shooting that long-range three. See, that shot comes just totally off of an individual move. No offense whatsoever.
Almost taken away by Harris,
Good
and it is.
Defense.
Long lob pass ahead. Let's see if Harris can do something with it. Kick it back out. Here's the three again, and no good. Off the mark by Peoples. Denby still in the backcourt.
Coach conversing with his point guard, saying set it up. His point guard complies, and he does exactly that.
Armar Van Zant is back in there, number 10 for Saginaw. Ball loose on the floor, still loose. Denby up with it. And going high for the board for Saginaw. That's Antoine Tatum. The finish at the other end won't go for Van Zant, but he's going to shoot two.
Well, Allen was able to get down floor and foul him, so he didn't allow him to have that easy two. Allen showing great foot speed.
Armar Van Zant, the 5'9" junior, 155-pounder, will step up and shoot two.
Harris has moved over to guard Mitchell, and on the last two possessions, Harris, who is a 5'9" guard out in front, a very stocky guard, has been successful when Mitchell does the spin dribble. He comes from the backside and knocks it out of his hand.
Harris is going to come out, and Delaney Pitts will come in. Out of the lineup for Detroit Denby is Sidney Mitchell and Ronald Dodson, the 6-foot junior, in for the first time.
Be interesting to see who takes Mitchell after this free throw attempt. You might need to match up with him with a guard because of his quickness. I think the bigger guys are going to have trouble staying with that great move to the bucket.
Well, Mitchell is out. And Denby with a rebound.
Mitchell to the bench.
10-point lead for Denby.
Allen
with the ball.
explodes, and nothing but net on the baseline jumper. I like Allen. Does a nice job of keeping things under control.
Minute and a half to play, and a 12-point lead now for Denby, the biggest of the game.
Just modified pressure keeps them out of their offense.
Down low, Pitts won't go, and this rebound ripped down by Bruce Lawrence for Denby.
Bruce Lawrence that time. Rebounds just like Dwayne Williams rebounded.
Allen will take his time. Let's see if Denby plays for the last shot with 1:14 to play.
You know, Denby's token pressure, full court pressure, might be taking Saginaw out of their offense.
Dotson with the ball. Partially blocked, and a little body on that too on the way down, and that'll send Dotson to the free throw line.
Ronald Dotson, a 6'4" junior to the line. Recently into the ballgame, gave all appearances of being a scorer, has a shooter's mentality with a move at the top of the key.
Ronnie Pitts with his second personal foul. And that is the 4th team foul on Saginaw. Only 3 team fouls on Denby, so it's been a well-played first half. Dotson with his first point, and it's 33-20 with 1:01 to play in the first half.
Denby coach Ruben Washington on the sideline in the squat posture. Not able to sit down. Definitely involved in this game.
Got both free throws, and it's now a 14-point lead for Denby. Harris, they go into the paint. Off the glass and good by Van Zandt.
Defenders got a little confused that time. Had one on each side, and Van Zandt was able just to sneak right between them. Got the easy bucket.
Pulls him back within 12 at the 35-second mark now.
And Allen tells us that we're going to go for one with 32 on the clock.
And we've got a whistle. Battling down low.
Maybe a double foul down low. Yes, double foul.
Double foul on Saginaw 32, Dwayne Nash.
That says the referee caught them bashing each other a little bit inside.
Dwayne Nash picks up the foul for Saginaw, and Albert Thomas picks up the foul for Denby. So that's the 5th team foul on Saginaw, 4th team foul on Denby, and it'll be Saginaw ball underneath.
Possession arrow goes to Saginaw. Here come the Trojans, facing that pressure once again.
Harris on the dribble. Working against Allen. Into the paint, lost the handle on it, but I think we've got a whistle on the floor.
Out in front, we've got the foul on Jones. Just interrupted the dribble a little bit, reaching in.
Damari Jones. That's his first. And that is the 5th team foul on Denby. So Saginaw will just inbound for the baseline with 19.5 seconds to play.
I don't think they'll wait for one. I don't think they've got the patience.
Tatum's is out.
They're
Peoples
put
is
it up.
in. Peoples is a good outside shooter. Here's Harris firing for 3. It won't go. Rebound. Harris off the glass and good. Check that down. The foul. That is Pitts. It pulls him within 10. Clock rolls to 7, 6, 5 seconds to play. 4. Allen on the double team. Kick it back out. Long range. And good on the 3 by Damari Jones just before the buzzer. And it sends Denby to the locker room leading by 13, 37-24.
A lefty with the long jumper making a statement. Big lead, 37-24.
We'll be back with the second half action and statistics from the first half coming up in just a couple of moments. At halftime, our score, Detroit Denby 37, Saginaw 24. And welcome back for the second half of action as Detroit Denby has opened up a 13-point lead at halftime, 37-24. I'm Ken Delaney along with Mike Bodkins in this semifinal action, Class A, here at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center. And Mike, Denby has just been a lot stronger on the boards in this first half.
Yeah, they have, but they've also shot better, shooting at 53%, for that first half. I think that it has a lot to do with that subtle pressure that they're putting on. I think that it's interfering with Saginaw's offense. Saginaw is more inclined just to shoot out of the individual move. In contrast, Denby has done a good job of shooting out of the offense. I think that's why their shooting percentage is higher.
As far as individual statistics in that first half?
Well, if we look at Denby, they're led by Mitchell. He's got 12 points, followed by the point guard Allen, and then Thomas has 6 and Jones has 5. They shot 53%. They only had 6 turnovers. Really did a good job. They had 6 players that scored. In contrast, Saginaw, they're led by their top scorer, Nash, followed by Harris with 7s. And probably of note, Jason Peoples, who averages 16 points a game, only 3 in that first half. Shooting percentage at 30%. So they've got to connect at a higher success rate here in the second half.
A 13-point lead for Detroit Denby over Saginaw here at halftime. Denby got here by beating Detroit Cooley in the quarterfinals 82-49. While Saginaw is beating Traverse City 65-53. Denby will start the third quarter with the ball from half court.
Denby definitely picked up the tempo there in that second quarter, scoring 23 points as opposed to 14 in the first. Allen with the ball. We've seen it so often.
Handles the ball quite a bit. Gives it up and then gets the handoff back. There's Mitchell. Back to Allen in the corner.
Look at the movement, though. Nice rotation. Whoa, out in front.
As Nash got first a hand on the ball and then a hand on the arm as he fouled Thomas way out high. And that's the first team foul of the second half, the second personal on Nash.
Denby with good movement away from the ball. Point guard's going to take it out in front. Now watch these kids start to move. Set the high pick. Watch the movement from the weak side. Here he comes.
Mitchell, the sophomore, holds it high. Comes back to the right side. Looked inside. Ball tipped away, and here comes Saginaw. And the slam it on home by Antoine Tatum.
Oh, the outlet pass was nothing short of phenomenal. A little left-hand push, put it right where it needed to be.
And it's under 10 points now, a 37-26 count. There's Jones, sealed off baseline. Give it up to Mitchell. Missed on that one. The tip kept alive by Saginaw. And they'll fast break it again. And Harris to finish it off. No, basket interference. Basket interference as number 34, Antoine Tatum, got up there. Thought the ball might come back out of the hole and try to tip it in, but the ball was still in the cylinder, so wave off the bucket.
Reuben Washington doesn't miss a trick. I sort of glanced down thinking that bucket was a given, immediately looking over to Washington to see if he was going to call timeout, because you don't want to start the half with consecutive buckets like that. Washington decided to take the timeout even though the bucket was no good. He says, I want to stop this momentum. On both offensive selections, his team did not get the good shots that they have been getting, so he's going to reinforce the issue of kids, we got to have good movement and find that good shot.
Well, Harris looked like it was going to be an easy lay-in, and up in the air was Antoine Tatum. Thought possibly the ball was coming back out, just got caught up there with a hand up on the ball as it was still in the cylinder, so wave off the bucket, which would have pulled it to 7.
Class A basketball teams, when they get to this level, they can score in spurts. They've got the ability to really put a lot of points on the board in a short period of time. And I think that's where the coaching strategy comes in. You've got to stop that run, and you got to make your team do its thing. So let's see if Coach Washington was successful with his timeout. That bucket would have pulled it to 9. It's an 11-point lead now, 37-26 for Denby over Saginaw. Wave off the bucket, 37-26. Let's watch closely their offensive movement on this possession, see what kind of shot they get. Here comes Allen down court with it. It's set up in their 1-2-2 offensive set. Switch on the baseline. Allen looks it over against Pitts. It's a pick. Comes into the open, but doesn't take the shot, although he does average 12 points a game.
Dish inside, ball loose. Won't go. Rebound out to Saginaw.
Got a good shot downside. Inside, Williams that time.
Long ranger will not go. Foul on the floor.
I like the fact that referee very animated with that call. Fans probably wanting him to go to the line and shoot three because he was beyond the line. Referee making it very clear that the foul is after the shot. No foul is going to be out of bounds.
6:27 to play in this third quarter. And Denby up, 37-26. Harris down the middle, real strong. Missed the shot, the follow also won't go. And ball out of bounds. Harris is just so muscular when he goes inside, can really get up in the air and stay there without getting knocked around.
Tough shot that time. He was pedaling backwards.
Mitchell almost lost it. Coming across the timeline. There's Allen slipping to the floor. Stop, popping for the three and missing. That's Pitts for Saginaw.
Shooting off the transition, just stopping and shooting the threes.
Out of 5:45 to play. Third quarter.
Starting out this quarter like we did the ball game.
Allen
Only 2 points scored.
He'll dish to the corner, then back inside for Lawrence on the easy lay-in.
Let your offense score the points. Execution. Good job.
13-point lead for Denby. Harris off the dribble, in and out again, no good. Rebound to Lawrence.
Lawrence with a yeoman's job on the board.
Underneath, the alley-oop blocked away. But a whistle and a foul against Saginaw, and that'll send Albert Thomas to the free throw line.
I think we got Tatum with that foul, just a little bit too aggressive.
It is on Antoine Tatum, the 6'2 senior. That's his second personal and the second team foul here in the second half against Saginaw.
Thomas to the line, not particularly outstanding from the charity stripe, shooting only 40% from the year. Contrast from the field, he shoots 67%. I'd say by that form that he's probably a better foul shooter than what the statistics tell us.
Nails the first one. Averages 8 rebounds a game and 9.5 points.
Perfect for him.
41-26 and a 15-point lead for Denby. Saginaw trying to get back into it.
Green light. Harris just says, I can shoot that one. Harris and Nash, they're just going to shoot it right off the transition. You've got to be right on them as they come across half court.
Denby will slow it down, pull it out. Allen gives up the dribble, needs some help. And there's a foul out top by Harris. Almost came up with a steal, but a little body on Sidney Mitchell.
That's a matchup that we talked about in the first half. Harris is so quick, almost tries to set you up for that spin dribble. And he's really giving Mitchell fits when he's that far away from the bucket. Mitchell, of course, has got more size, and ideally with that matchup, I'd take him down and post him low.
It's a first on Lawandzo Harris, and the third team foul on Saginaw here in the second half. Allen with his spin dribble. Mitchell, the runner won't go, the tip won't go for Denby, and then the second follow is up and in. Thomas.
Outstanding.
And the ball right back into Mike's lap here courtside.
I did everything correct, except I had the pen in my hand. I could have made a better pass if I wouldn't have had that pen in my hand.
Harris almost has it taken away. Dish low and a nice miss underneath. It looked like it was going to be a great finish there by Freeman Battle, but it rolled out.
Billy Packer, eat your heart out. I don't think I've ever seen Billy catch him any more adeptly than what I did.
And that's with even me trying to swat it away from you.
I noticed that. Your sprayer's going to get hurt. The jumper, Allen from the wing, nothing but net.
And look out for my senior citizen friends.
They're really increasing their lead right now. A 45-29 lead by Denby.
3:40 to play in this third quarter. And the ball loose
Got
out
the
top.
basketball. Here they come. Just lost it on the dribble. Allen with that posture that says, set it up, gang.
Harris maybe trying to do a little too much.
Sometimes when you're behind, that's exactly what you do. You force a little bit.
Mitchell, nice feed.
The old wraparound, took that wraparound way out of bounds, rifled it back inside on the left-hand side under the bucket.
And Thomas with a bucket. Down to 3:05 to play, third quarter, 47-29.
Great putback, number 50 in the middle. Freeman Battle.
That's why he's their big spark plug off the bench. They'll need a few more of those to get back into this one. 47-31. Mitchell wants it and gets it.
Had to think about it. His defensive man says, go ahead. Mitchell says, I will.
50-31, a 19-point lead. Saginaw going inside. And there's Nash with a bucket.
Well, Nash could take over out there. He's a multi-talented player.
Saginaw will double team the ball, but then Denby beats it, and Mitchell wants it again for three. This one's off the mark. The tip goes.
What a rebound. You get the number? 45 going to get that one?
Or Jones.
Bruce Lawrence? That's going to be Thomas. Thomas the jumper.
21 Albert Thomas. Saginaw bringing it in the paint. A whistle and a foul on Denby.
Thomas really explosive inside. That's 2 occasions now. We've watched him just simply out-jump everybody. And I tell you, when he puts his hand on it, he's able to redirect very softly, get it right back in there.
It's back to a 19-point lead, 52-33, with 2:04 to play in the third quarter. Armar Van Zandt comes back in. Also Montel Lewis for Saginaw, number 44.
Almost all the way through the third, Denby's making a real run to put themselves in the finals.
There's Battle, no good. The tip won't go. 2 Saginaw players were fighting for it. And finally, Denby reaches in, jump ball. Will go Saginaw way underneath their own bucket. There's Harris for 3 and gets it.
What strength that young man has. Unlimited range with that jumper.
52-36 with a minute 45 to play. Third quarter.
Allen is a skilled point guard. He's really handling the pressure nicely out in front.
That's Dotson back in there, number 4 for Denby. A 6-foot junior.
Good patience. Nobody looks at the shot, you notice. They're just looking for the offense to make the shot.
Mitchell in the corner.
He'll look for the shot.
And there's a whistle and a foul as Harris goes for the steal.
Harris has that steal down to a state of artistry. He is great with that reach around. He just sets you up, fakes you one way, and then as you go around him, he reaches around and dislodges that basketball.
4th team foul on Saginaw, 2nd personal on Harris, and he'll get a break with a minute 15 to play in this quarter. And we'll see Torrance Whitson come in for the first time. Denby inside, reverse layup won't go. Whitson with a rebound. Ball loose. Can they save it? No. Denby ball. Battle can't hang on going into the press row. Minute 4 to play in this third quarter, and Denby on top, 52-36.
Saginaw now with 9 turnovers on the game.
Clock rolls under a minute to play in this third quarter. Denby will just take the air out of it. And there's the 5-second call. A little too much air out of it by Allen.
It's a rare mistake by Allen out in front.
51 seconds on the clock. Peoples is checked back in, number 42 for Saginaw. 45 seconds. Peoples on the miss. The follow by Van Zandt is good.
Maybe with a little push from the backside that time. He was all open for that rebound.
52-38. Allen across the timeline. Lob down low. Right to the hole. Strong. Up no good. Charge against Thomas.
Well, Thomas thought he had a freeway to the bucket that time. He's down on the baseline. He quickly closed. Didn't make a lot of contact. Player moved under him as he went to the floor. Didn't get the bucket to drop.
27 seconds here in this third quarter. Pitts and a whistle foul against Denby. That's team foul number 4 here in the second half with 23 seconds to play.
Denby's making a little charge here. They got that lead back where it was previously.
52-38. Denby on top.
Saginaw's making the charge.
Ralph Sewell, number 33, in for the first time today. As Dodson comes out. Nash goes strong to the hole and gets the banker in, and it's a 12-point lead now for Denby.
Nash not to be denied. Great moves from the top of the key.
Saginaw with a double team with 6 seconds. In and out won't go. The tip won't go. Battling for it, and there's the follow-up and in. Strong in the boards is Bruce Lawrence just before the buzzer. Lawrence stays with it. And at the end of 3, Detroit Denby has retaken a 14-point lead. 54-40 over Saginaw.
Oh, Mitchell took that ball to the baseline, skied for that jumper, and just couldn't get it to drop. Got a lot of rim. And then Denby was there with a couple putback opportunities, and the big guy got it to drop. I think that's an important bucket. Puts it back up 14 on the game. Lost a little bit of momentum late there in the third quarter as Saginaw was able to convert on some transition, and of course Nash was able to take it from the top of the key to the hole. You know, I look at it that Saginaw has to do something to isolate Nash. You know, he's the one that seems to be the connector, the one that seems to be able to get it done, and he seems to be able to take it to the hole and score. So I would give him every opportunity here in the fourth quarter to do that. I don't think anybody has the strength to stop him.
Mitchell with 14 through 3 quarters. Allen with 10 for Denby. 12 points for Nash for Saginaw. Harris also with 13. Your 4 leading scorers in today's contest.
How many did Mitchell get in the third?
Mitchell with 14 for the game.
So he only had 2 points in the third quarter. You know, he was the story in the first half.
54-40. Denby with a 14-point lead at the end of 3. The winner moves on to the state finals coming up tomorrow afternoon against the winner of Southfield Lathrop and Wayne Memorial. Additional copies of today's semifinal contest are available through AVS at 5547 Columbiaville Road, Columbiaville, Michigan, 48421, or call 810-793-8889.
Well, one might think that Saginaw is going to have to resort to some pressure defensively, whether it be a half-court trap or picking him up man-to-man and then jumping, double jumping in terms of trying to get in turnover. I'm not sure that they can trap Allen. I think he might open it up to the point that with the trap, the floor is going to be theirs. And then, of course, you got Mitchell down on the other end, and he's going to be the converter. He's going to be taking those transition buckets and scoring. But I'm sure Saginaw is going to increase the defensive pressure, trailing here by 14.
And Denby starts the fourth with the ball. Right to the hole, and Thomas beating the defense and getting it to go, almost taken away on that baseline. And it's back to a 16-point lead. The runner won't go. Rebound foul goes against Denby. And to Barry Jones.
Jones just wanted that rebound.
Denby foul, 15 to Barry Jones, his fourth. 15 foul.
We haven't really spent much time at the free throw line. Like Georgetown and Texas Tech last night, I think combined those two teams must have shot over 70 free throws.
5th team foul on Denby. Shot short by Saginaw.
Great rebound inside, Bruce Lawrence.
Nash with a miss.
6'4", 205 junior.
Lawrence with it at half court. Underneath they go.
Great feed by Allen. Yes.
And Thomas almost shot it a little too hard. Saginaw will move it up court. Here's Nash. Back out for three, and well short. Rebound follow. No, but a foul.
Nash doing it all. He brought him down, set him up for the three, and then gets the offensive board.
Nash will step up and shoot two. The 6'3" senior averaging 21 points a game and 11.2 rebounds during the regular season.
Allen's drive and assist down here was just classic. He drove all the way under the bucket, kept his dribble beautifully, and he just whipped it right out for the easy put in.
58-40 with 7:17 to play in this Class A semifinal.
Nash shooting two, up and in.
They cut it to 17.
Good looking basketball player.
Second one is left short. Rebound loose. Saginaw with it. Turnaround won't go. Still kept alive, and finally out of the pack. And a foul. Denby had it. And a whistle foul against Saginaw.
Peoples that time just sort of inadvertently got into that foul situation as Allen ran right in front of him. Peoples had nothing to do except bump him.
For Peoples, that's his second. Saginaw with a full court pressure. Almost taking it away at half court. But now Denby with the numbers and a collision down low, and there's the charge. They'll go against Denby and Sidney Mitchell.
Williams was what Nash was the one that filled the slot there and took the charge. Both boys went down hard.
Mitchell was asking for a foul out high, saying he got tripped up. Now Denby with pressure of their own. Saginaw finds the numbers and finds the three, but it won't go. Harris got up in the air, nice dish. Underneath they go to Van Zant. That won't go, and the ball out of bounds.
Denby doing everything but coming up with a rebound. They got the kids in the correct positions, good inside placement. Just can't get their hands on it.
Saginaw, the other thing is just can't get it to go.
Oh, nice feed by Nash that time. Down low, Peoples with the bucket. Peoples with the steal and another bucket. Here comes the offensive run.
And Denby wants a timeout. 6:30 to play, and Saginaw has cut it to 13. Detroit Denby 58, Saginaw 45.
I think Reuben Washington has these kids really skilled out here in terms of when to call that timeout. I'm not even sure that they glanced to the bench after 4 consecutive points. It stopped the momentum right now. Let's talk about it.
Well, if you were a Detroit Denby, you don't want to get the momentum shift.
Oh, most definitely not. And, you know, immediately he talked to a couple of his big boys as they came to the huddle about the fact you got to get your hands on that basketball in there. And that's what they have not been doing. Of course, it's not all their fault because the balls are slightly deflected and, you know, timing and those issues. But, you know, they must clear those boards. And, of course, Nash seems to be up-tempoing a little bit here. He's doing everything.
6.5 to play. And it's a 58-45 lead for Detroit Denby over Saginaw.
Leads can disappear very quickly when you've got that three-point shot and such talented athletes out here.
A big day of basketball at the Breslin Center. This is the opening contest in the semifinals in the A and B round today.
A lot of anticipation for upcoming games. A lot of discussion about the B matchups today. You know, some of the favorites being out in A, maybe taking a little of the excitement away, but everybody's talking about some of the B matchups.
And here is Denby. And they were somewhat of the giant slayers during the tournament, losing the ball on the turnover.
Lawrence has been doing a masterful job of handling that ball against the press. They throw it to him at center court, that time with a turnover. A long three. This is a different basketball game now. Hold on. Saginaw fans are up. It's a 10-point game.
6:13 to play, and Saginaw with the pressure. Long pass down court. A baseball pass for Denby.
Oh! Play the traveling music. Number 35. Williams that time with the travel.
Caught the long pass like a wide receiver over his shoulder and then took a couple of steps before he stopped. Here comes Peoples to the hole. The runner won't go. Rebound up strong. No good, but a foul against Denby. And a chance here for Saginaw to cut it to 8.
Well, you can see the intensity in their faces right now. And Nash really making a statement. Referee talking to him because a little bit animated after he got that basketball. Says, nope, we're going to play the game straight up.
5:57 left. And Denby with a 10-point lead. But Saginaw with a chance to cut it. Nash at the free throw line. Good on the first one.
Didn't get a real good look at their pressure that time, but it looked like they might have gone to a full court zone trap, like a 1-2-2. Let's take a good look at it after a made free throw.
It's good.
Guy on the ball. That's exactly what they're doing.
Denby still in the backcourt.
It's going to make things a little more chaotic.
Mitchell comes down and pulls up and nails it.
Oh, Mitchell's got a lot of class out there.
Saginaw will push it up. Trailing by 10, quickly to the hole and makes it an 8-point ball game again. That was Nash.
Nash is taking charge.
5.5 to play.
Big boys go to the center floor and post up.
And the foul as Lawrence receives the pass. Foul goes against Durrani Pitts. But that is only the 6th team foul against Saginaw, so the ball just out on the side.
That's their strategy in breaking this 1-2-2 zone trap. They take Lawrence, he goes to the opening, usually that being in center court, and then his responsibility is just to pass the basketball, not to dribble and take it down floor, but he's going to look for one of his guards after they break into the open.
Armar Van Zandt comes out as Battle comes back in for Saginaw. 5:20 to play. Denby still in the backcourt. Denby with Mitchell. Then into the paint they go. Shot up, won't go. Rebound. Fought for, and Denby back up with it and strong to the hole as Bruce Lawrence to finish it off.
Lawrence and Williams, the big guys, doing a good job inside.
62-52 with 5 minutes to play. Shot missed. Saginaw can't come up with it. Denby at the other end, and Lawrence again with a bucket.
Denby has responded to the challenge, doing a good job of running the open floor.
They lead by a dozen with 4:40 to play. 3-point way off the mark. The follow-up and good, though, by Saginaw.
32 Dwayne Nash.
64-54 with 4.5 to play. Pass down court, and it's lost. Stepping out of bounds is Denby.
Saginaw having moderate success with their press. Initially, it definitely gave them difficulty. Then Denby responded, running the open court effectively. And then once again, they get the turnover.
It's a 10-point lead for Denby with 4:20 to play.
Watch the three-point long range.
Look into the paint. Here's the spin move off the glass, and good by Nash.
Oh, Nash just unstoppable inside.
They've got it under 10, 64-56. Denby with the numbers, and they'll go right to the hole, and good.
No call by the referee. Nash tried to take the charge. There's Allen catching the ball at midcourt. They've got it on a break. They got numbers.
And they look down low off the hands of Dwayne Williams and out of bounds for Denby. 3 straight buckets for Bruce Lawrence. 66-56. Saginaw wants a timeout with 3:55 on the clock.
Up and down action. Nash just impressive down here offensively. He is not to be denied. He's got great moves. He goes left, he goes right, and such strength inside. And right now, it's a test of how well Denby can handle the pressure. Sometimes they execute against that pressure with great execution, flawlessly. But we've also saw the turnover numbers go up, and sometimes they're just not hanging on to that basketball. Coach immediately catching them as they go to the timeout and say, gotta have better hands, guys.
3:55 to play, and it's a 66-56 lead for Detroit Denby over Saginaw. Saginaw breaks the huddle.
They have no choice but to continue their 1-2-2, and they've just got to run it with reckless abandon out there.
Torrance Whitson is out on the floor. Number 30, and Armar Van Zandt has come back in as well.
Denby, in response to the pressure, is going to have to organize the chaos a little bit and be able to pass the ball effectively against the pressure and connect on the open court. Denby now picking him up man-to-man.
Saginaw with the ball on the inbound, and they want to run it quickly down court. Here is Pitts into the paint. Lost the handle on it, kick it back out. Three-point try, off the iron, no good. Long with a rebound by Van Zandt. Here's Pitts down the middle, and the scoop, it's good.
What a shot. That got everybody talking about it.
Back down to an 8-point lead for Denby. And there's a walk. The turnover by Denby gives it to Saginaw on their end of the floor with 3:34 to play.
Another defensive pressure is intense. Just exactly what the coach wants to see. When you put this pressure on, you cannot do it in a lethargic, lackadaisical fashion. You got to go in that desperate attempt to get that basketball.
66-58.
Nash back in the ballgame. He was on the bench just catching a little bit of air. He's worked really hard this second half.
Nash, number 32, the 6'3 senior. Lawrence will come out for Denby.
Not accustomed to getting beat, and they're making a very strong statement of that.
Here's Harris. The pitch off the glass and good, and it's now a 6-point game with 3:25 to play. A lob out here to half court, and then back into the backcourt. Allen gave it up. Here comes Pitts underneath the Harris to the hole. Blocked away. The follow up and good by Van Zandt.
Saginaw with numbers. They're just swarming defensively.
They trail by 4. Denby with the ball. Denby on the run across half court. The dish down low and a whistle foul. And I think at this point, Saginaw wouldn't mind giving up the foul in exchange for the points. Trailing by 4.
Well, the half-court line has almost become the impenetrable barrier. They can't get it to half court, and a swarming Saginaw defense. The Trojans are just all over them. You can see a little panic in Denby's eyes out there, and why not? He's going to take one of the big guys out and bring in maybe another ball handler.
Albert Thomas will go to the free throw line. Thomas is 2 for 2 at the charity stripe.
Thomas, we talked about previously, shooting 40% on the year from the line. Made those 2 initial shots with great expertise. That one he banged off the left side.
2:59 left in this one and a 4-point Denby lead. Second one way off the mark, and the rebound fought for. Denby with it, and a whistle foul against Saginaw. And it is the bonus with 18 fouls against Saginaw.
Now that's going to put Allen at the line, or is it?
Well, now they're trying to sort it out. Now they're sorting out who should be shooting. And it will be Jones. Tabari Jones.
2:57 on the clock. Every opportunity so important. After missing 2 shots, Denby now to the line for 2 more. A 1-on-1 situation. Up and good by the lefty. No good.
Off the iron, and the rebound, Van Zandt. He'll run it himself across half court. Van Zandt underneath. They had the numbers, and then they lost the ball. Jump ball will go Saginaw away on the change of possession arrow.
Nash that time in a big hurry to get into the paint and put it up.
66-62, Denby up by 4 with 2:49 to play.
Who would have thought it possible?
Williams comes out. And Lawrence is back in. Inbound goes to Harris. He'll stop and pop for 3 and nail it. And it's a 1-point game.
It is happening. All of Saginaw is up making a statement about that one.
2:42 left. And Saginaw has pulled within 1. Denby having some trouble on the inbound. They do get it, and they have almost taken away. Allen gave up the dribble in the backcourt. Needs some help. Gives it there to Jones. They dish down low, up and good on the finish by Lawrence.
Good job by Allen that time. Very effective, getting open. Made a nice pass.
68-65. Saginaw in the paint at the other end. The turnaround won't go. The tip won't go. The second tip is off the glass and in.
Oh, Nash took it coast to coast and couldn't get it to drop, but help from his big boy inside.
Freeman Battle finished it off, and it's a 1-point lead for Denby. At half court, there's Peoples wrapping his arms around Allen and committing the foul.
They're going to test the will, the spirit, and the nerves of Denby. They've already tested him. Now Allen is going to go to the line again, shooting crucial free throws.
Well, the biggest lead had been 19 points, 50-31 for Denby, and now they lead by just one, 68-67 with 2:09 to play.
I think they were down 14 when they started their 1-2-2 trapping defense. Allen up and no good.
And Battle with a rebound. Battling for it, and he is fouled. And both teams in the bonus, so that'll send Battle the other way to shoot.
Not difficult to tell that Saginaw and Breslin Center has literally come alive. Saginaw fans are on their feet. Denby fans, in contrast, I think are a little bit shocked.
2:06 on the clock. 68-67. Denby with a 1-point lead.
Every possession critical.
This is the 1-and-1. 9 team fouls on both squads. Perfect, and we're tied at 68.
Battle.
And it gives Saginaw the lead. The steal by Saginaw. And Van Zant, they don't need the shot. It's up anyway. It's off the mark, no good. Rebound though, Saginaw. Underneath, the ball loose out of bounds. Nash had it off the hands of Denby and out of bounds.
Saginaw fans with a sigh of relief, thinking that ball was going to go out of bounds off Nash's hands.
Inbound goes to Harris. They lead by 1 with 1:45 to play.
Harris, who just stole the ball moments ago from Allen out in front, shoots the three, off to the left, no good. Rebound inside, up, no good.
And
back
rebound
to Nash.
again, finally stripped away out of bounds. A 1-point Saginaw lead. And Harris fires from the top of the key, and luckily the big boys kept it alive underneath.
We're trying to put them away. Momentum is in our direction.
Peoples will inbound for the baseline with 1:34 to play and a 1-point Saginaw lead. The Battle.
I think their style is one of putting it up. You're not going to see him hold the ball.
Here's Harris. He gets double teamed. Oh, he walks. Harris walks.
Well, he does what the coaching strategies tell you to do. Split the defenders, but he took one step as he tried to split those defenders. One too many steps.
Denby with the ball. Now down to 1:25 to play.
Denby DD to bucket to regain the lead. Mitchell out in front.
He has been relatively quiet offensively in the second half. Spin there from the free throw line. And good for the sophomore.
Well, he's got the individual offensive moves.
Denby with a 1-point lead again, 70-69. Pitts inside, scoop won't go. Can he get his own board? It comes off to Saginaw, and there's a walk as it came right back down to the hands of Peoples. Went up, came down with it, went back up, but there's a travel call, and Saginaw wants a timeout. 56.7 seconds to play, and Detroit Denby has retaken the 1-point lead, 70-69 on the spin jump shot from the free throw line by the sophomore, Sidney Mitchell.
Which really looked like it didn't have much of a chance to go at all. He was off balance and did a 180, literally in spinning to get that jump shot. It came off the front of the rim hard, hit the bank board and came back through. Not something you typically see. You know, it's interesting what the pressure has done Denby has gone away from being able to set the ball up offensively. You know, they now must take and score on transition, and that up-tempo has forced them into numerous turnovers here in the fourth quarter, and they just are really struggling. When they did get that offensive set on that last possession, see what Mitchell did? He really took a bad shot, even though he connected with it. Down here on the other end of the floor, Harris and Nash just have been tremendous in terms of penetrating, doing what they need to do. They're crashing the board hard. All of a sudden, they see themselves as having a great opportunity to win this game.
70-69 with 56.7 seconds to play in this semifinal at the Breslin Center. And in-your-face basketball for the last minute, to be sure.
PA system playing some kind of melancholy music. I mean, we should be rocking right now. This is Michigan basketball.
Build me up, Buttercup.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Denby on the inbound.
Oh,
to the backcourt and he walked.
Well, everybody here at Breslin Center called that travel just seconds before the referee concurred.
Right in front of the Saginaw bench, and that's where Saginaw will get it on the inbound.
54.3 on the clock. They're probably going to put it up in about 14 seconds.
Harris.
Or less.
Harris will take it right to the hole. Dish it underneath, off the glass. Won't go. Battles, keep it alive. The ball out top. Now underneath, the finish off the glass in. Good by Nash, and he's fouled.
I think Harris made that feed inside to Nash, Ken. And he just, after the feed, knew that Nash was going to connect. And, of course, now he goes to the line trying to convert the three-point opportunity. But Harris just followed that pass and gave him a bear hug, put him right on the floor.
71-70. Saginaw retaking the one-point lead.
Nash to the line, talking to his teammates, giving them instructions. Out.
No good. Rebound taken away by Denby. Still in the backcourt, and timeout called by Denby. That's their third. They still have one left. 35.5 seconds to play, and a one-point lead for Saginaw. They were down by as many as 19 points, 50-31.
Well, I think in the huddle right now, they're going to talk about what their offensive strategy is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be Allen out front. Quite possibly, they're going to give the ball to Mitchell, tell him to work one-on-one. They've got the two big boys inside who are always there ready if somebody double teams for a drop-off pass or on a penetration by Allen. But I think Mitchell's probably their number one option. If they can get the ball to Mitchell on the wing, isolate him a little bit, he's awful tough to stop. Saginaw, in contrast, I'm sure that their coach is talking to them about what to do if it's a made bucket, you know, how they want to bring the ball down the floor. And I think their two options are, number one option is Nash, number two option, is Harris out in front.
.5 seconds on the clock. 10 team fouls on Denby, 9 team fouls on Saginaw, so it's double bonus time for both teams.
Let's see if Denby can get the ball down floor. Changing their pressure. 2-2-1. Man-to-man, rather.
Here's Mitchell on the dribble. Still in the backcourt. Double team comes to him. They give it off to Allen with 27 seconds to play. Over to Mitchell. Clock rolls to 24, 23, 22 seconds. Mitchell, they'll play for the last shot.
Oh, I can't believe it.
71-70. Denby down by one. Here's Mitchell on the turn. Good for three. 73-71. Saginaw underneath the scoop off the glass, and that's up and good to tie it at 73s as the buzzer sounds, and we go overtime.
We've got fans on the floor. Security has broken down. It's OT. Saginaw just gone crazy. They got the ball inside to Nash. What is the discussion at midcourt?
The Ronnie Pitts came down court, lost it in the paint. It was rolling. The ball picked up
discussion had to do with time left on the clock. Referees making the determination, no time left on the clock.
The ball was picked up by Nash as it rolled in the paint. He went strong off the glass and in.
Continues to be confusion.
The Saginaw bench saying there should be a second on the clock. Nate Hampton from the Michigan High School Athletic Association is at the scores table along with the officials. The coaching staff from Saginaw arguing their case. They would like to see the ball inbounded with a second to play with an opportunity to possibly steal it and shoot it.
I think they're still maybe disputing the fact that if this was a 2 or a 3 by Mitchell down here. Your call was a 3. Saginaw fans, Saginaw coaching staff saying if that was a 2, we win by 1. The referee, the head official, goes to the scores table and confirms that Mitchell was given a 3.
The indication was the 3 by the official right there with Mitchell,
which put them up 2. They come down, get the 2, it's overtime.
A 4-minute overtime in this Class A semifinal between Saginaw and Detroit Denby, tied at 73s.
Coaching staff now talking about how many timeouts are remaining, and it looks like Denby has 2 timeouts and Saginaw having 1.
Nash with 25 points, 11 of 20 shooting, and 9 rebounds. And he got the crucial bucket as the buzzer sounded.
Harris has come on strong too. He's got 16 points, so he's got 9 points here in the second half. Harris and Nash. A 4-minute overtime here in the state semis in this first Class A matchup.
And we'll jump it center circle.
A little bit of Jeopardy music.
Freeman will jump for Saginaw. And Mitchell
Who
will
is
jump
the
it.
winner of the first semifinal A game?
The tip down into the hands of Saginaw. Thomas doing the jumping for Denby. 73-73 in overtime. And there's a foul on top. And it's a double bonus for both teams in this overtime.
It's going to be Thomas that time coming to the top of the key, making the reach-in foul.
And here is battle at the charity stripe.
Does Saginaw continue to do what brought them to this overtime? That is extend the pressure with those zone traps.
Battle 2 for 2 at the charity stripe.
Full court pressure seems
points
to be their venue tonight. Seems to be their forte. I think they better continue to do it.
And Battle hits the free throw to make it 74-73.
They're going to be tough to beat now. They've got confidence on their side.
Hits them both, and it's a 2-point Saginaw lead. Mitchell across half court. Up top. Off the iron won't go. The chip coming away. Battle with a rebound. And Saginaw numbers 4-on-1 break. They dish it low off the glass. And the foul.
Ronnie Pitts, he took the responsibility of setting it up on the break and did a beautiful job. He had me faked out. I thought he was going to go right in tight and shoot the shot, but he dropped it off to his running mate, Harris, and Harris doing what he's done so well this second half. He scores.
Lawandzo Harris with the bucket. So a 4-point Saginaw lead and a chance to make it 5 with this 3-point play. Harris with 10. Misses the free throw.
Denby facing pressure.
At half court, the ball almost taken away. Denby down court, trailing by 4. Allen up top. Here's Mitchell for it. Stops inside the 3-point line and left it short. Rebound taken away by Saginaw. And then for the backside, Lawrence tries to pop it out of there and commits the foul. That'll send Nash the other way to shoot 2.
Well, Nash was prepared to rifle that ball down floor with that overhand baseball pass. Mitchell is so exciting to watch. That time he's just exploding one step after another. And then when he goes in the air, he just floats that jumper up there. Nash, good with the first of two. He's got 26, I think.
Second one is no good, but it's taken away by Saginaw. They lead by 5 with 3:08 to play. Harris. Down low they go. Here's Battle up and good on the 5-footer. And a 7-point lead. And a big second half run, fourth quarter run by Saginaw. They take the ball away in the half court. Here comes Battle to the hole. No good on the layup, but gets it back, feed it underneath. The shot off the glass and in.
They are psyched up. Everything says Saginaw.
And Denby gets a timeout with 2.5 minutes to play in this overtime period, and Saginaw has taken a 9-point lead, 82-73.
Denby coach Ruben Washington has to be wondering what happened out here. All of a sudden, the team that had all the poise and all the execution has just literally fallen apart by this Saginaw pressure and momentum. Saginaw now just unstoppable. They're doing everything correct that they did not do correct in those first 3 quarters.
2:33 on the clock. And Saginaw with an 82-73 lead over Detroit Denby.
Ruben Washington in the Denby huddle is trying to put it back together. How do you put it back together? Well, you got to get the ball in Allen's hands more often. You know, one of the problems I think maybe they're having is that inbound pass comes to Allen, and then he has to face the trap. Might be better to throw it into one of the big guys and then get it back to Allen. And Allen just simply has not had the ball enough here against the pressure.
On this game, an amazing statistic that Saginaw is not shooting extremely well. 34 of 80 as compared to 32 of 56 for Denby, but when it's asked for, it is there for Saginaw.
Well, Saginaw also had to dig themselves out of a hole in that first half where they shot 30%. Their stats have improved here in the second half. Basically, they've improved in the fourth quarter.
And a 9-point lead for Saginaw. Denby out of the timeout. We'll start with the inbound. And Allen almost lost the handle on it.
Even Allen, who was flawless early in the game, is having trouble.
The ball stripped away. Saved by Saginaw. Right to the hole. The layup is no good, but a foul, and that'll send Lawandzo Harris to shoot.
The indestructible Lawandzo Harris.
2:21 to play in the overtime period, and Saginaw up 82-73.
These Denby guards are going to be having nightmares tonight, seeing the eyes of Lawandzo Harris and his colleagues out there. And they are just all over that basketball.
Harris at the charity stripe, 0 for 1. And makes it a 10-point lead, 83-73.
I'd like to have the stopwatch on 10 points down to 10 points up, because this team has made a dramatic turnaround.
It's good.
Well, we know that just a little under 2 minutes, they've outscored them 11-0. Denby yet to score in the overtime.
Ronald Johnson is now checked in for some outside help. There's a shot coming from the baseline, blocked away. The follow up and in. That's Lawrence with a putback, 84-75. The first points of the overtime for Detroit Denby.
Allen that time coming from the backside, trying to get the steal, which they much need. Puts number 20 Pitts on the line.
Pitts yet to go to a charity stripe. Total of 6 points for the game and 5 rebounds.
And Allen, the player that I thought was controlling the tempo and giving Denby what appeared to be a comfortable lead in this basketball game, giving them an avenue to the state finals. He goes to the bench with 5 personal fouls. Falling victim to great defensive pressure.
Grant Allen gets a big hug from the coaching staff, the senior. And this could be his last ball game.
Oh, so close.
Pitch shooting 2, left the first one short.
Has it gotten to the point of being anticlimactic? Do we now have Saginaw declared the winner?
Second one, no good, and Denby with a rebound. I don't think just yet.
We need a couple threes.
Here comes Thomas. Lost the handle on it. And here comes Harris up with it. They'll fire for 3. Try to ice it, won't go. Rebound follow is good by Saginaw's Dwayne Nash.
Nash is a vacuum sweeper inside. I take it all, I get them all.
He's got 28. Denby launches the 3, won't go. And a 3-on-2 break. The back door, here's Nash blocked away.
Easy bucket for Denby.
Jones with a lay-in with a minute 25 to play, and Denby wants a timeout. They've cut it to 9, 86-77 with a minute 25 to play.
Looking at our stat sheets here, trying to see if we see how many steals Harris has. We don't have that information available to us right now, but he has been taking the ball away from everybody here in the 4th period and in our extended overtime session. He has got such quick hands, and he's so strong. You know, if you've got both hands on the basketball, his one hand is going to come in there and take it away from you. He has just got great strength as a guard.
Reminds you of another very strong, highly recruited player in Class A from Flint Northern, Mateen Cleaves.
I think you're right. A little difference in size, as you know, Harris is only 5'9", but he is definitely an excellent ball player, and I think that he set the tempo for this comeback with his intense defensive play.
Harris, only a junior, 5'9", 170-pounder. At 170, might be a little light.
He's well put together.
125 in the overtime period. Saginaw with a 9-point lead, 86-77.
Denby facing pressure. They must get some turnovers.
Denby with the pressure. And the ball taken away. No, back into the hands of Saginaw to half court. And Harris will pull it out. Down to a minute 10 to play.
Hey, we're going to run a little delay.
First time we've seen Saginaw do that tonight. Underneath they go, battle off the glass and in. Saw the opportunity and puts Saginaw up by 11.
We call it the spread. Take a good shot and only a good shot.
Down to 53 seconds to play. Here's the shot won't go. Tip won't go by Denby. Up over the back.
On the backside.
Of the Tars.
Thomas, I think, going to be with the foul.
Saginaw will take a timeout. Exactly 50 seconds to play. And an 11-point lead, 88-77.
Denby coaching staff, they're going to spend a lot of time talking about this one as to what went wrong.
Well, the reason they take the timeout is to bring in some of the other players off the bench. We'll see at least 4 new players come. Well, you'll see only 4 new players come in because Saginaw will have a man at the free throw line shooting. So with 50 seconds to play, Marshall Thomas believes that he has this in hand, 88-77.
I agree. I made that call at 2 minutes. I just felt that when we turned into overtime, that Saginaw was not to be denied. They had everything going their way. Defensively, they were controlling the tempo. Offensively, they were controlling the tempo. Nash, who was a factor but didn't get the ball enough in the first 3 quarters, all of a sudden was just unstoppable.
Into the lineup now. Number 54, Deion Anderson. Nash will be at the free throw line. Terry Washington, number 52, is checked in. Number 12, Terrence Reed will come in. And let's see who that fourth entry will be. Looks like Andre Reed, if they can get him in. Well, somebody will have to come in. Only 4 players on the floor right now. And here comes Peoples back in.
Nash at the line with a total of 28 points. Harris with 20 points in the game.
And he nails it. 89-77 in overtime. Second one also, this one won't go. Rebound Denby, whistle, foul underneath. And this will go against Saginaw. Well, the clock stops, send Denby back the other way. Now we'll see Terrence Reed come in.
I would guess that this last quarter and the performance that we have observed in overtime is probably much more characteristic of the Saginaw squad. You know, early we made some observations about excitement being lacking, tempo being lacking, intensity being lacking. I think that their defense just simply put them back into the mood of playing big-time basketball.
Nash comes out, Reed to replace him. Nash will finish the night with 32 points. Check that with 29 points. Free throws good. It's a 10-point game. 89-79. Clock rolls to 48 seconds to play. Reed clears it across half court. Layup is up and no good by Saginaw. Ball kept alive. No, stepping out of bounds. Denby. Reed kicked it back out to Marcus McCray. Missed the lay-in, but it will be Saginaw ball. Inbound they go, and the first points of the semifinal by Andre Reed.
Turnover, Denby.
Mitchell
Saginaw's
looked underneath, and nobody there. The closest player was from Saginaw, and he couldn't even get a hand on it.
They're going to bring her down one more time.
32.4 seconds to play. At half court, the ball is loose and out of bounds off Saginaw. As Terrence Reed tumbled the floor with a couple of Denby players right on him, Murray and Jones. Murray, the new man of the game, number 11. Here's Murray with a fire for 3, won't go. The tip won't go. The tip again won't go. Battle for it. Down to 19, 18 seconds to play. Ball out of bounds. Off Saginaw. It'll be Denby ball at their end of the court.
Terry Washington right in front of us, one of the Saginaw substitutes in the game.
Mitchell lost it. Saginaw had it. Still loose on the floor. Here comes Deion Anderson. Right down the middle, underneath on the dish. The scoop off the glass won't go for Washington. The follow-up, and this one rolls in for Deion Anderson. And the buzzer sounds, and in overtime, Saginaw pulls off a 93-79 victory over Detroit Denby to advance to the state finals coming up tomorrow here at the Breslin Center.
Well, we've told the story over and over. 3 quarters and a half of this basketball game controlled by the style and the patience and the execution of Denby. But when it came time, crunch time, when we put on the pressure, when we put on that press, Denby just literally collapsed. They were not able to execute in that open court scenario, made numerous turnovers, and as the momentum crescendoed, Saginaw was not to be denied. Nash was just outstanding, scoring a total of 29 points, but probably the leader, the floor general, was Harris. Harris was just instrumental in his defensive pressure and in his scoring. He finished the game with 20 points, but he was all over, taking the ball away from every Denby player. An outstanding effort by Saginaw as they advance with a 93-79 victory.
Nash with 29, Harris with 20 for Saginaw. Leading the way is the sophomore Mitchell with 22 for Detroit Denby. Again, our final score, the Saginaw Trojans 93, Detroit Denby 79 in overtime. For Mike Bodkins, I'm Ken Delaney.